Hi guys, today we're going to show you how to replace a screen on an iPhone 6. So first you're going to grab a pentalobe screwdriver and unscrew the two screws next to the lightning port on the bottom of the phone. And set those aside where you can see them later. Then you want to take a suction cup, apply it to the bottom of the screen to kind of create a gap. You can use your fingernails or a pry tool made for phone repair to release the frame at the bottom. And then you're going to unfasten the clips along the side of the phone. And then make sure the phone's off. iPhone 6s do not like to be worked on while they're powered on. Carefully hinge the screen upward about 90 degrees and then unscrew these 5 Phillips screws, notating their position because each one is a different length and you can mess up the phone by putting a long screw in a short hole. Then remove the shield and carefully unclip these connectors here for the screen and the front-facing camera, as well as the home button. And then using your Phillips screwdriver, remove the 6 screws, 3 on each side, for the back plate. And then put those aside, separated from the others. Go ahead and remove the 3 screws holding down the home button and set those aside so you don't lose them. And then remove the plate securing it down. Carefully unclip the Touch ID connector. Go ahead and unscrew the 3 screws holding down the earpiece and the front-facing camera. And then note their orientation because they're all different lengths. And then set the shield aside. You can lift up the camera and remove the earpiece. Then you can lift up that back plate and very carefully peel off the Touch ID connector. Sometimes adding a bit of heat can help. Next, carefully remove the Touch ID connector on the button itself. Be careful not to rip this because if you do, Touch ID will never work on that phone again. Next, remove that front-facing camera assembly by peeling up the microphone from the earpiece. Set that aside. Now you can go ahead and grab your new screen because you've removed all the components. Peel off the plastic that usually comes shipped with these screens. Then you can take your backing plate and you can set it down on the back light. Make sure that you get that little tab underneath the plate. You don't want that on top. stick your connector down at this time as well, and apply your home button. And make sure that connects nice and tight. And then take your home button plate, place it down, and then replace the screws that you removed earlier. And then you can replace the 6 screws that hold down the back plate. Make sure that the holes are aligned. And then you can remove the adhesive on the rubber earpiece assembly so that you can stick down that microphone on the front-facing camera flex. At this time, if your screen did not come with any of those clear frames, go ahead and add them back now that hold the proximity sensor and the front-facing camera. Then here you can push down the proximity sensor. Then you're going to want to follow it by the earpiece speaker. Make sure that's all aligned properly. Then you can fold over the front-facing camera, make sure it aligns with those contacts and aligns in the camera hole properly, followed by that shield that holds everything down. Then you can add those screws again, making sure they're in the proper orientation that you pulled them out in. Make sure they're snug so the camera and earpiece don't move around. And you can add the whole screen assembly back into the phone. You're going to want to connect those connectors. Make sure that the connectors are flat because sometimes they can get a little bit bent. And then we add the shield that covers those connectors and holds them down. Make sure to use the proper size screws in the proper holes, otherwise you could have a dead phone. And then you can rotate the screen back down. There's little hooks at the top of the screen you want to push in first, make sure it's nice and snug against the top of the frame, and then carefully reclip the edges of the screen down into the chassis of the phone. And then you can add the two pentalobe screws back into the bottom, snug them down with your pentalobe screwdriver. And go ahead and turn the phone back on. There we go. The final step in any kind of screen replacement is to test the screen, make sure it works before you give it back to the customer. And there you go.